All right.
Bodhicitta. Yeah. What?
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Thank you. Thank you. So we learn about mindfulness and maybe also. Did you watch this movie yet? The story of the blind prince.
No, I don't think so.
This is a very beautiful story. Nói với cổ chưa? Anh ấy cứ để đây.
What's up?
Hi, Jira. We brought you here today to let you know that we made the...
Anh khóa lên. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
One day, after Buddha passed away, there was a king named Usika. He was very kind, and his government was very compassionate. He had a son with eyes as beautiful as the kunala, an Indian bird famous for its beautiful eyes. Because the king liked this kind of bird, he named his son Kunala. When Prince Kunala grew up, he was very handsome. His conduct was proper, and he was very kind. King Usika was a devoted Buddhist. One day, the king brought his son to a temple, and he asked a monk named Yasa about the Buddhist teachings. Yasa looked at the young prince and said, "Human life is impermanent. A body goes through the stages of birth, aging, illness and death. And human life is filled with impurity. Who can have the beauty of youth forever? All these are illusions. In the same way, although the prince's eyes seem beautiful, they are actually full of filth and the source of trouble." The prince was quite puzzled. Everyone always praised him for his beautiful eyes. But why would the monk say that they were dirty and the source of trouble? These words kept whirling around in his head. There were many concubines in the king's palace. One young lady was deeply attracted by Kunala's good looks. When she saw him sitting alone in the garden one day, she started to fondle him, trying to seduce him. But the prince was a righteous person and could not agree to such behavior. He pulled himself together and freed himself from her unwanted attentions. Later, when the young prince was old enough to marry, King Usika found a wife for him. When the concubine saw the lover of her dreams married to someone else, she became intensely jealous, and her love turned to hatred. Not long after the marriage, the king became sick, and the young concubine looked after him carefully until he recovered. He was grateful for her care and said to her, "Because you took care of me for such a long time, I will give you anything you desire." And she said, "I just want to rule the country for 7 days." The king thought to himself that since he had promised, he couldn't go back on his word. Besides, it was only for 7 days, so he agreed. When she was on the throne, the young lady wrote a letter filled with both love and hate and sent it to Prince Kunala. She wrote that her fury would only be distilled if she never saw his eyes again. Now the prince finally realized what that monk had meant. but it was too late. The lady's word was like the king's command, and it couldn't be disobeyed. Kunala reluctantly gouged out one eye and held it in his hand. It is so disgusting, he suddenly realized. Why would such a filthy little thing be praised by so many people and bring so much trouble? Since she wants both eyes, I'll take out the other one too. And when both eyes were gone, everything before him was in total darkness. But his mind was suddenly filled with light. He felt the peace that comes from spiritual enlightenment. When his wife heard the news, she ran to the blind prince and started to cry and cry. But the prince was calm and consoled her with the Buddhist teachings. Human life is impermanent, so don't harbor hatred or worry, because hatred and worry are your greatest enemies. At that time, a bodyguard warned the prince, "Your Highness, if you stay in the palace, I'm afraid that your life will be in danger." The prince, of course, was already aware of this, and since he didn't want the court lady to continue making bad karma for herself by doing something even worse, he and his wife fled the palace. They learned to play the lute and to sing, and they wandered from town to town, making music in the streets. People would throw them a few coins, and in this way, the prince and his wife were able to feed themselves. A few years later, they happened to come back to the capital. And one day, while they were wandering into the streets alongside the palace and started to sing, King Usika heard the beautiful but mournful songs. He thought of his son, who had suddenly disappeared years before. He told his attendant to invite the musicians to enter the palace. When the king saw the lute player, he realized that it was indeed the son that he had been thinking of day and night. When he saw how Prince Kunala had fallen from his royal life and was now only a blind lute player singing on the streets for a living, the king was very distressed. He asked the prince, "Who did this to you? Who made you lose your sight?" But Kunala refused to talk about it. He just told his father about the truths that he had learned, hoping his father would calm down. At last, the ministers and the guards couldn't endure it anymore and reported the truth to the king. He was furious and wanted to execute that concubine, but the prince begged his father to forgive her. The king was touched by Prince Kunala's compassion and released the young concubine. However, in her own conscience, she was ashamed of herself and finally committed suicide. Because of her impure love, she had created trouble and hatred, hurt other people, and destroyed herself. Was it all worth it?
Okay, that's the movie. William, did you hear this story already?
No.
Oh, don't you think it's beautiful?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you quickly summarize and we can discuss into detail?
Yeah, I think it lines up with the teaching of, happiness being a source of suffering. Where something like having beauty could, make someone happy because they can get what they want, but usually it comes with some sort of unexpected consequences, like this example of, if someone is very beautiful, then someone may like covet them and go to extremes, that if they can't have them, to even try to hurt them. I think a classic example that's used is in a different way, but the same sort of principle is like eating ice cream. You eat ice cream, and the moment you eat it, it's a great experience. But then when it's done, for a child's usually sad when it's done. And then if they can't have ice cream next time, now they're really upset because they had that pleasurable experience before. They want to have it again. So all of these phenomena in the world that we may have preferences about and attached to, the strength to which we hold those preferences, the strength of that attachment kind of determines, how much we suffer over them. because eventually we won't be able to have our preference.
So, but the king, the prince can have a chance to do opposite, right? Don't you think?
What do you mean to do opposite?
That mean, well, he can did not, well, I think he did not do at the lady said that he can also tell his father as well, right? Don't you think? Can he do that?
Yeah, I would think he could, or maybe he could have ran away.
Yeah, run away and also report to his father somehow and
Mhm.
stop her evil, don't you think?
Yeah, he could have.
Um, what you okay, if the prince choose that scenario, what what's wrong with that scenario?
Well, one of our common topics is avoiding creating ill will.
Hmm.
So that concubine already had a lot of ill will towards the prince because she couldn't have him. So he would have made that worse. So in a future life, or even in that current life, that could come back to him as some other bad thing.
Even worse, right?
Yeah.
Even worse than the current situation.
Hmm.
Um, so the good thing is the prince he understand the Buddha teaching very good. Therefore he be able to accept it, right? That's um and accept the condition at ease and move on, right? And is that easy for a person to be able to have the forgiveness to others?
Well, I don't think it's easy to gouge your eyes out.
Not easy at all.
Especially in that time. I mean, it'd be one thing to have them surgically removed under anesthesia, but to gouge them out yourself and have just an open eye
Wow.
until it healed. I mean, the risk of infection and death would be high back in those days.
Right.
So I mean, from a certain level of spiritual attainment, it wouldn't be extreme. But for someone that doesn't have that level of stability in a spiritual attainment, that'd be a pretty extreme action to take that could, um, it could actually cause problems for the people around them too. If they,
Actually, yeah, you bring up a very good point. If a person do not have that the spiritual realization, right?
Mhm.
I don't think they will have don't you think they have the mind of forgiveness? I
No,
don't think so.
they may try, but may not be able to if they're not established in it. They
Mm.
may kind of waver. There was Thich Dot talked about the Zen story with the student that was copying what the master was saying,
Uh,
kind of pretending they had attained it,
mhm,
like emptiness.
mhm.
And so the master offered them some ash to eat. And he's like, if everything's empty here, eat this ash. So clearly, like we
So
can
did he
have
eat it? Did he eat it?
it. No, I don't think he ate it. No, because he was
So it's
just
not
showing,
emptiness, right? It's not emptiness.
yeah, the difference between intellectual understanding and actually
No.
like returning to the original mind.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, it really tough for even though even us, right? If we in that situation, let's say that we understand certain level of Mahayana teaching, I don't think we have a gut to do that.
I don't think so. Where I'm at now, I think I would get out. I think I would tell my dad. I think I would but insist that he not like give her any trouble or anything.
Uh,
Maybe try to have a conversation with her. Because I mean, taking something and just popping your eye out, that's next level stuff right there. I mean, I can endure a good amount of pain. Like there's different treatments we do at my office that I'll do on myself, so I understand what it feels like. And I can inject into my joints, into my foot, into my face. I can endure quite a bit of discomfort with laser treatments, but uh I don't think I could bring myself to pop my eye out.
Yeah, with our equipment, no tool.
Yeah, no tools, no sedation. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's very tough. That's very tough. I don't think I can do that too. Did you hear the story about Venerable Sariputta in the past life when he practiced the Mahayana, the Bodhisattva path, right? One day, well, he practiced the given. That means whoever come to him, he give everything, include his own body. One day when he on the way somewhere, and there was one of the Brahmin, I think. They came over and they said,
Yes, I think I do know this one.
"Oh, you do?
Didn't she say she would kill herself if he wouldn't marry her?
Oh, no, 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 not that
Oh,
one.
it's a different one. Oh, okay.
No, not that one." And he said that, "May I have your eye?" And Venerable Sariputta said, "Yes, you can have my eye, no problem." He poked his own eye and give to that person. And you know what? And that person, when he received the eye, he said, "No, no, 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 not this eye. I want the other eye."
Oh my gosh.
And he dropped, he rolled it on the ground, and he stamped it with his foot on the eye. And he said, "No, no, 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 I don't want this eye. I want the other eye."
Mm.
And you know what happened? And Sariputta said that, "No, no, no, no. The sentence being is very tough to transform and to teach." So he gave up and he withdraw from practice the Bodhisattva path, and he go back to the solitary practice at the Arahata, right?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, yeah, it's very tough. Even the level of the Venerable Sariputta, he still not be able to do that.
Sorry thầy, có hình như cái câu chuyện đó là sorry William, I just want to explain him about the story, so maybe he understand. He understand me, okay. Cái câu chuyện đó hình như là móc một con mắt ra, xong rồi cái người đó mới kêu là tôi muốn mắt kia chứ không phải mắt này. Nhưng
Đúng rồi.
vẫn móc luôn một con mắt nữa. Nhưng mà khi móc một con mắt nữa thì cái người đó nói con mắt này sting quá, hôi quá, dơ quá, tao không muốn, tôi không muốn nữa, giục luôn. Thì lúc đó ngài mới suy nghĩ là trời ơi, mấy người này coi như chúng sanh này khó dạy quá thầy này. Thầy ngài đó mới có một cái ý nghĩ thối tâm, thì cái người kia mới hiện hình là một chư thiên, nói là họ tới họ chỉ thử thách ngài thôi, rồi xong rồi biến phép lại mắt trả lại mà thầy.
Okay. So no, there are more than one version of the story. Maybe they're similar to. Yeah, she just means she just fill in the gap for me about the story. So basically, it okay. So when he poked the first eye, right, give to him, and he said, "No, no, 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 I want the other eye," and he did poke another eye, give to him. "No, I don't want it. I don't use it." And he rolled it on the ground and stamped it on both eye. And you know what? And at that time, the Sariputta, he said that, "Oh my goodness, this sentence being it is very tough to transform and to teach." So he wanted to give up. And when he do that, and that person transformed back to the devil, the God appearance, and Well, I don't know that God give him back both eye or not. I'm not sure. Maybe yes, maybe yes. Because he come and test the Sariputta mindset on the path of the Bodhisattva. So when we so this is a good thing. Wow, she bring up the good point here. So when we sincere, right, to the point that to practice certain thing, right, we will encounter a very negative affinity or negative situation or scenario to test us. If we won't be able to recognize it, and we won't be able to recognize and accept it, and you know what, that will put us down very easily. For example, right, we never know that, like my master, right, my teacher, he he very sincere in his practice, but suddenly the karma in the past, now it came to him, and he have to pay for that karma. If for the common person, right, then you know what, when they look into it, they say, a monk who practice like this, how come cannot be able to avoid his own karma in the past? Then how do you explain to them?
Even the Buddha couldn't avoid his own karma in the past. The law of karma, is it's not completely fixed, right? We learn about nothing is completely fixed. We talk about that in the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, but it's going to come back around, even if we have been practicing and we're sincere. Well, how many lifetimes did we accumulate negative actions? But the Buddha had poisonous mushrooms for his last meal, and had the splinter thing and the headache thing. So if it can happen to the Buddha, how much the more so to those who were not Buddha.
And you remember his royal family, right? That the whole royal family were massacred, right? By the other king, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
Buddha 3 times stopped him, and he did not give up. On the 4th time, the Buddha had to give up. And the Buddha said that, well, this is when the karma become fixed, right? Nothing can change. Just like when you have let's say the apple fruit or any kind of fruit on the tree, when it ripen, can you say that do not rub? Can you say that do not rub? They still rub anyway, right? From the tree. So just like when the karma is fixed, nothing can change it. And in this, and what does that demonstrate in the Buddhist teaching is the law of karma is the supreme law. Regardless, doesn't matter how powerful you are for the spiritual power, the psychic power, it cannot compare to the law of karma. The law of karma is still the supreme one. That is fair, right? That's very fair. Doesn't matter who you are, even you are the Buddha, but still have to pay for it. But actually, Buddha, in this scenario, don't you think he have to receive that kind of retribution? Is that true?
For the splinter and the headache.
Anything like the poison mushroom, or anything. Don't you think is that real?
Oh, well, I think probably the Buddha could have avoided the mushroom poisoning, could have chosen not to, but there must have been it must have been the completion of something. It must have been appropriate for like the teachings to propagate, because at some point the Buddha needs to leave the world anyway, so that people practice standing on their, standing by themselves.
Don't you think the Buddha still have that kind of karma seed in his Arya concept or the Dhamma body? Don't you think they still have those seed, the evil seed in there? So he have to be paid for those retribution. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's the seeds of evil in the sense of that they could make evil actions, like new evil actions, but there's still karma that hasn't returned from previous lives.
Okay. This is the big difference between Theravada and Mahayana teaching. All the Buddha we saw in this in the Buddha life, right? Whatever happened to him, even Devadatta, always caused him so much trouble. That is just like he just a play, right? It's just a play. It's not real. He wants to set up a play while he in the world, right? To help us, the common people, to understand the law of karma, the law of cause and effect, and also help that in the future, right? If anyone who accused his disciple, the monk, who practice diligently, who are really the holy one, but later on pay for the karma, just like Venerable Magalana, remember? The
Yeah.
way he get killed, right?
And
By
Zhu,
the group of robber, right?
yeah, and then
Bandits.
Zhu Yan too.
Huh?
Zhu Yan.
Suyan too, right?
Yeah.
So because he want to set up a play like that, so even the Buddha have to pay for it. Then no need to talk about my disciple, because this is the human law. A human world, we have to follow the human law, right? The universal law of the human, that's how it works. And we have to comply with the human law, right? The same thing. Doesn't matter Buddha come to this world to appear as Buddha, he will play at Eve. But doesn't mean that he have those things. No, he don't have anything like that. It's just a setup. Remember, any Buddha, very important to understand this one. Any Buddha become a Buddha. Before he became a Buddha, they have to undergo the countless life in the past to practice Bodhisattva, to perfect all 6 parameters, right? To perfect all those things. That means after they perfect this, not even a tiny thing of any kind of bad seed in the Alaya consciousness. None. They're not even talking about Buddha. And the Buddha, the Sakyamuni Buddha, remember in the Dhamma Flower Sutra, and the chapter 15, right? All the Bodhisattva emerged from the ground. Remember that chapter? And the Buddha, all the Bodhisattva from the 10 directions come to this world, and they are the ones who volunteer to uphold the sutra, the Dhamma Flower Sutra in this world, right? And the Buddha said no. He already have all the disciples. And who are disciples? After he said that, all the Bodhisattva emerged from the ground up. How many? It's numerous, cannot count. And what does that demonstrate? That means, and remember, after that happened, the Maitreya Bodhisattva, he wondering who were their teacher, who will be able to teach this Bodhisattva, many Bodhisattvas like this, countless Bodhisattvas. And these are the great Bodhisattva, not the common Bodhisattva. Who were the one? Who were the teacher who teach all these Bodhisattvas? You remember that?
Wasn't it Shakyamuni Buddha in previous lives?
Oh, no, but you remember that asking
Yes.
by the Maitreya Bodhisattva, right?
Yes.
Of course. And that's why Shakyamuni Buddha, he said that they are my son, right? They are my disciple. I already attend the Supreme Bodhi or the Buddhahood in the countless lifetime in the past. Not only this life, because what we see is the Buddha only attend the Buddhahood maybe only 30 or 40 years. And how he be able to teach all those Bodhisattvas? And that's why the Buddha confirmed with the audience, say that, no, I was enlightened and became Buddha from countless lifetime in the past. And that's why the chapter 16 is talking about the lifespan of the Buddha, right? It's no limit. You remember those chapters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, all the Buddha, we see that all the things happen to the Buddha, it's just a play. It's not real. So if we have the mindset of say, oh, even the Buddha have to receive this kind of bad retribution, and that means we are the one who cursing the Mahayana teaching. Cursing. Tức là mình phỉ báng kinh điển Đại Thừa. That's very important. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. The cursing part, like given that the Buddha taught it as an expedient means to believe that what the Buddha taught, I mean, that wouldn't seem like it would be cursing the Mahayana, but at some point you may understand more.
No, what I'm saying here is, if we understand the way we understand right now, that means we compare Buddha with Arhat, they're no different. Not much different. Then no, Buddha is not Arhat. Even though in the Theravada, they don't they label Buddha as the great Arhat. But in the Mahayana teaching, Arhat is only for Arhat. We don't call Buddha as Arhat. But Theravada, they still call Buddha the great Arhat. That's a big difference right there. Because they see that when the Buddha enter into Nirvana, it's just like human, right? Just enter and that end, no more. Just like when the wood, right? You burn the wood, and after the wood, the fire extinct, all the wood turn into ash, right? That their view, but not the Mahayana teaching view. Especially when we have a chance to learn about the Nirvana, remember? That this is very important. So we don't have that kind of view like the Theravada teaching. To them, there's nothing wrong. There's no wrong and right. To them, it's still correct. Because that's what they base on their foundation. Nothing wrong with that view. But to us, it's a different thing. We are on the foundation of the Mahayana teaching. The view have to be different. So that's why we easily respect the Theravada teaching. It's okay. That's how they look. Nothing wrong with that. And there's no need to argue with them. No need. What for, right? It's useless to argue because they have no common ground with us. Why we need to argue with them? We only argue or debate when we stand on the same route. If we don't have the same route, no need for arguing. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
This is important. So, so whatever we see in the Buddha lifetime, it happened to him. It's just a setup. It's not real. Just remember that. Even the great Bodhisattva do not have those things. But doesn't mean that the Buddha do not need to care about the law of cause and effect. Can the Buddha say that, no, the law of cause and effect have no effect to me? Can he say that?
No.
No, he should not say that. Of course, Buddha never said that anyway.
Yeah, the seeds of Buddhahood sprout through causation.
So, to the great cultivator, okay, let me tell you one of the story very good. The fifth patriarch, right? For example, in the China, he was the Chinese, right?
In teacher?
China, and when he expound the sutra every night, right, every day, and there were a group of people come and listen to the Dharma, and every day there were the old man with the white hair, and one day everybody gone and he's still there, and the master, that means the patriarch, he came down and talked to the old man. Oh, why you was still here? And the old man said that I'm not the normal human. Okay, I were the fox, right, and transformed into human form. He were a fox and transformed into the human form. And the reason I were being a fox right now, and 400-500 lifetime being a fox, FOS, right? Is that we call fox, right?
FOX, yeah.
Fox, right. 500 lifetime. And today I'm here to ask the Venerable Master help me to be able to liberate from this body, the fox body. And when in the past I was the monk, right? And I sit on the, and during the time I expound the sutra. At the end of the section, there were a Buddhist lay person came to me and asked. A great cultivator the great cultivator still have any still pay for the retribution of the law of cause and effect. And you know what? The monk, he said, no. You understand the question and the answer so far? And because of the word no, I have been I pay for the retribution being a fox for 500 lifetime. And now I come here to ask you to help me. The Venerable Master helped me. And the Venerable Master said that now you can repeat the same question that the lay person asked, and I will respond for you. And he did. He said that the great cultivator have to pay for the retribution of the law of cause and effect. The Venerable Master said that the great cultivator, they understand the law of cause and effect totally. And after the Venerable Master said that, and that old man, he got enlightened. And he asked that tomorrow I will leave this body. That means the fog body, and reborn. And please help me to perform the funeral service at the monk ritual ceremony for the monk, not for the fog, because in the past he was a monk. I hope you understand the story, I guess.
Yes, I've heard this one before too. Yeah, I'm familiar with this one.
What did you understand?
Well, it was that the state of an enlightened master, if they were speaking to another enlightened master about that state, well, they could maybe say things differently, but when they're speaking to an unenlightened person, they need to be careful about the consequences of what they say. So by the man who was turned into a fox, by saying that there wasn't any karma for them, well, then that could lead the people he was speaking with to not have faith in the law of karma. And so if even from one perspective of enlightenment, you could say that and it was true, it wouldn't be in alignment with compassion, because it wouldn't help the people asking the question. So it's in the lines of the importance of utilizing expedient means to help living beings.
Okay, let me try to answer, because in the Vietnamese it's easy for me, but in English, let me try to we say it so the response, so you understand the relation, the connection between the monk in the past respond and with the Venerable Master respond. The right connection. So the monk in the past, right? Originally he said no, but the Venerable Master said not have a wrong view of the law of cause and effect. How about that? Does that help? The other one say no or not, right? Not or no. But this one also say not, but not have a wrong view of the law of cause and effect.
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
You see the
that makes sense.
connection?
Yeah, because it's like the boat crossing a river, where once you have gotten to the other shore, you don't need the boat anymore, but you needed the boat to cross the river. And so the law of cause and effect, once you attain enlightenment, the distinctions like that aren't they're not necessary at that point, but it is in teaching others, because other people still need to cross the river.
Oh no, not in that way. In this way right here, for the Bodhisattva, do you think Bodhisattva always do all the good things? Always?
Yes.
Do they sometimes on an occasion they do a little bit differently?
Oh, where they're like greedy in some way?
No, not really. For example, you remember one of the Buddha former life, right? In the past, he with the 500 merchant went out to sea for the Tracer hunt for Tracer. You remember that? And
Yeah,
they got the Tracer, all the thing they need, and on the way home, right? And the former line of the Buddha know that they evil person here want to kill all this 500 merchant.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, the former line, let's call the Bodhisattva, okay? He said that if he said in his mind, if I let this thing happen, and this person will be stuck in the hell, how long? Until all these 500 merchants become Buddha. Because why? Because all these 500 merchants, they are the one who already resolved the Bodhicitta. If we kill the common person, yes, we have to pay for it, but not as bad as the one who resolve the Bodhicitta and who are the one who walk on the Bodhisattva path. The retribution is until they become Buddha. And how? All the 500, you know, how long is that? Almost infinity.
Mm-hmm.
For all these 500 Bodhisattva to become Buddha, become Buddha. And that's why, due to that, his compassion arise. And he said that, and that's why he decided to kill him. And he did, he killed. He killed him for the compassion. Don't you think he will pay for the bad retribution?
Well, because of the intention and the context, it wouldn't be the same as killing someone out of selfishness.
But don't you think he still pay for it anyway?
Compassion. Well, the story, that's why the Buddha got a splinter in his foot when he was walking. So there was a payment, but it was very minimal because of the intention and the context.
So yes, he have to pay for it, right? But at the same time, he saved 500. His blessing is beyond. So just like if you take a small cup of salt, right? You put into the bowl of the bowl of water, right? It becomes very salty. But what happens if you put that salt, that small cup of salt into the river?
Yeah, nothing really.
Nothing, right? It's nothing. Nothing really. So based on that story, yes, for the sentient being, whenever we do things, we never think of, we rarely think about the consequence. We just do it because due to our greedy hatred. We just do it without emotion. We don't afraid the cost. We only afraid of the result, the retribution. Why? Because when the retribution comes, we suffer. That's why we are afraid. But it's already too late, don't you think?
Yeah.
So that means every time we do, we rarely think about this cost will lead to what effect or what kind of a consequence that we will pay for it. We don't think like that. But the Bodhisattva, they do not afraid of the result, but they do afraid of the cost. Whatever they do, they always think about the consequence. And they don't have to think. It appears in their mind already. It's very clear to them. That's why I say not have any wrong view of cause and effect. That's important right there. So whatever they do, they are very happy to accept it at ease. And their mind never have any ill will for any kind of situation. That's the difference right there. That's why the first response from the monk and the second response from the Venerable Master is the opposite. totally opposite. The first one is, it's just like, well, when we do it, we don't care about the consequence. But the second one is, whatever we do, we think about the consequence. We do care. So that's important, right? Very important. So so when we learn about the Mahayana teaching, and we easily open our mind and easily be able to, when we understand how to generate we have a dharma, a method to help us to develop the love and kindness and compassion. Therefore, we be able to practice forgiveness. It's not too tough. Yeah, not too tough. Okay, time is up. Any question? Any questions so far? But you understand clearly, right? So far, we discussed.
Yes, Dai. Yes.
One thing is you just mentioned it. Yes, you see the Buddha in the lifetime during his lifetime, right? He also got hurt from his foot, right? With the spear, I think. Right?
Splinter.
No, splinter. Okay. All those things, to me, that means in the past he already paid for it. When he was the Bodhisattva, he did pay for it already. But now he just used those things at the play.
Mm.
Does it make sense?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it actually happened to the Buddha, but in the Bodhisattva form.
Well, and for this exact situation we started talking about is with Tikang Dot's scenario. So then it's really useful to have that demonstration, that teaching, or like the play of it for people who may have sort of wrong thinking around it, of the sense of, oh, how could this happen? Shouldn't they have been protected or something like that? So
Actually,
really
at our temple, there were Buddhist, one of our very close Buddhist playman, right? He the one who he very diligent and support the temple. But one time he said like this to me. Because sometimes he saw that the venerable master, I mean, all those venerable master who get old, right, get sick, and sometimes they have they have the lost memory, or they in coma, right? You know what he said? Why those monks who are practiced so diligently still pay for those karma? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I try to explain to him, but I have to play in the easy way for him. I don't want to hurt his feeling. Does it make sense? And I have to find a way to help him to understand.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's not easy when we have the fixed view, right? And we attach to those views so much. It's not easy to change. Yes, even though they are the one who do a lot of good deeds, but those views, they still hold it like that, cost them a lot of trouble in the future. So that's why I really always encourage the people at the temple. Yes, you do a lot of good deeds and support the temple, but I would like you all to listen to them. When you listen to them, you understand more, and that will help you to help you to boot up your direction on the good deed as well. But at the same time, it will help us to develop love and kindness and compassion, to forgive others, and we don't have a wrong view on others. So that's why all the Buddha he demonstrate during his lifetime. It prevent this kind of situation. Easy for the for the even the layman, right, or the lay person to condemn or to accuse the monk or the nun like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bad, right? It's cursing. That's not good. Of course, non-Buddhists, they also use that to attack us, right? So but who care? We don't care much about that, about who attack us, but we only care to make sure that they understand properly. That's all we care. Okay, all right. Hopefully, oh wow, we go too much. Don't you want to do the quick? Do you have time for the mantra?
I let me see if I have to see if Lisa's putting Samaya to bed.
Oh, okay. No. It's okay. We can do next time.
Okay.
Okay. Don't worry. Okay. All right. Yeah, because this topic is very good. That's why we want to make sure that we go into detail and we understand properly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Yeah, I'm very happy that today we wrap up the topic here and we'll be able to discuss into detail so we can understand it correctly. A lot of Buddhists themselves, right? Even though they are the one who devoted Buddhism for many years, but for this situation, for this topic, they still not be able to understand clearly. What I mean is, I mean about the Buddha who during his lifetime, all his thing do it, it's just a play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That for the common people or the Buddhists like you,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's not easy to understand this, right? Cô Lan hiểu không?